April 20th, 2011 meetings.
Got a motion?
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Plummer, second by Ms. Bennett. Any public comment? State your name and your address, please.
Sure. Evodna Springer, 179 Palmetto Road, Benton, Louisiana. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 weeks ago I didn't even know that there was such a board as the Bossier Parish Emergency Management System Medical Services Board. To this day, for the record, I've never met nor have ever spoken with or communicated with Duxie Scott. Like many in the general public, I saw the news reports about the allegations against Mr. Scott, and as people generally do, I thought, well, heck, this is Louisiana. After all, this is nothing new, and this is Bossier Parish, so what else do I expect? But I did let my better judgment take control, and what I decided to do was do my own investigation to see if any of these allegations against Mr. Scott and EMS had any basis in fact. I started by looking at the 7-page list of allegations against Mr. Scott that you, as elected members of the police jury, and your police jury attorney, Patrick Jackson, had not only made copies of, but had actually made readily available for distribution to the general public and the news media during your April 20th, 2011 meeting, complete with much editorial comment by your attorney as to how shocking the public would find the allegations. I took that 7-page list item by item, and what I found was that most of the allegations were barely more than subjective complaints made by someone who disagreed with the management style and personnel decisions of Mr. Scott. Of the very few allegations that were direct accusations of wrongdoing, I discovered that there was not one shred of tangible evidence to support any of them. 2 of the most serious allegations concerned a felony theft of owed roofing material and nepotism. I want to enter into the record of these proceedings today 2 documents which completely refute both of those allegations. The first is a letter from Card Construction attesting that their company removed temporary unusable roofing material and took it away, not Mr. Scott. The second is a letter from the Louisiana Ethics Administration completely exonerating Mr. Scott regarding the nepotism charge. I, as a private citizen, discovered the truth about these allegations in a matter of just a couple of days. Could the police jury not have exercised the same due diligence before distributing that 7-page list of innuendo and accusations at your April 20th meeting? The final issue I wish to address for which Mr. Scott has been severely criticized concerns raises given to EMS employees. The fact is, Mr. Scott had the authority to give those raises, and every single year there was an independent audit made of the financial records of EMS which made no mention whatsoever that there was any sort of accounting problem with this practice whatsoever. Your police jury attorney, Patrick Jackson, has stated that the public would look unfavorably towards such raises. I disagree, and I think a lot of people in the public would disagree as well. I don't think we would ever label wasteful any raises given to police officers, firefighters, paramedics, EMTs, or the people that directly supervise them, because these are the people that protect us, and in the case of EMS, actually save our lives and the lives of our family members. It's so disappointing to me, on a personal note, as much respect as I have for a lot of the police jury members, that not one of them stood up prior to the dissemination of that 7-page list and said, wait, we need to do a thorough, complete investigation before we put this 7-page document out as though it were fact, as though it had any basis whatsoever in fact. Nothing can undo the damage to Mr. Scott. And again, he's someone I've never met. I don't have a dog in this fight, so to speak. I've been asked that question. But I couldn't sit back and just let a good man's name be dragged through the mud. And I discovered this just as a private citizen, that this is a good man, and he has arguably built this EMS into one of the most incredible state-of-the-art facilities in all of Louisiana that's highly respected across the state. But, not only has the police jury really effectively cast aspersion on the character of Mr. Scott, but in my opinion, and this is just an opinion as a citizen, what you've done to the CMS board, which is a very critically important board for this parish, is you have put into chaos a board that, from what I read in all of the years of minutes of those EMS meetings over the past few years, that board was not in chaos. Yes, there were problems, and those problems certainly could have been handled in a more professional manner by the police jury and those that had supervision over the EMS board. But, ultimately, in my mind, it was as if, you did major surgery on something that really only needed just a bandage. And that's very, very unfortunate in many ways. Finally, As the public begins to learn the facts and the truth about this issue, I believe that the public is going to be taking a much closer look at the workings of the EMS board. And if you as a body allow a wholesale firing of EMS supervisory and other personnel, then the rumors that are circulating as to what the root cause of this really is, in my mind, are going to be confirmed, and I hope they're not true. And if that happens, I can assure you that honestly, you're not only going, the police jury is not only going to answer for what they've done in attacking the character of Mr. Duxie Scott, but you're also going to answer for further dismantling what, again, I believe is one of the most incredible facilities in all of the state of Louisiana. And the lost public confidence that your police jury attorney, Patrick Jackson, referred to is not going to be with the EMS. It's going to be squarely where it belongs, and that's on the shoulders of the police jury. I do appreciate your time, and I would like to enter into the record the letter from Carter Construction Company verifying that Mr. Scott did not take the roofing materials, and also the letter from the Ethics Board, docket number 2006-683A. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Go ahead, please.